What if a mountain-sized comet slammed into Mars tomorrow? Not a slow drift, not a soft landing. An interplanetary wrecking ball, turning the red planet into a cosmic firework. The fallout, it's way bigger than you think, and the impact would change more than just Mars. In this video, we're diving into one of the wildest space what-ifs ever imagined. The interstellar comet 3I/ATLAS, colliding head-on with Mars. You'll discover what 3I/ATLAS actually is, how fast it travels, and what happens when something that massive smashes into a planet. Most importantly, why this single event could change the way we think about colonizing Mars forever. By the end, you'll understand why scientists both fear and secretly wish for impacts like this. Back in 2019, astronomers spotted something unusual. 2I/Borisov, the very first interstellar comet ever confirmed. That discovery blew the doors wide open. Suddenly, our solar system wasn't just a family affair. It was a pit stop for travelers from the galaxy. Fast forward a few years, and another detection shook the science world. 3I/ATLAS. But this isn't your friendly ice ball drifting from the Oort cloud. Atlas is an interstellar traveler, born far beyond our star's neighborhood. And it's big, roughly 4 to 10 kilometers wide. That's the same class of object that wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Except this time, ATLAS isn't bound to our sun. It's just passing through. Unless, in our hypothetical, Mars steps directly into its path. This isn't your friendly ice ball drifting from the Oort cloud. Atlas is an interstellar traveler, born far beyond our star's neighborhood. And it's big, about 4 to 10 kilometers wide. That's the same class of object that wiped out the dinosaurs on Earth 66 million years ago. Except Atlas isn't bound to our sun. It's just passing through. Unless, in our hypothetical, Mars steps directly into its path. Here's the scary part. Interstellar objects don't creep along. They zoom. Atlas would be moving at tens of kilometers per second. Let's say around 60,000 miles per hour, 100,000 kilometers per hour. That's like taking every bullet ever fired on Earth and rolling them into one cosmic shot. So, what happens if that bullet finds Mars? The moment of impact would be catastrophic. Imagine a shockwave ripping across the entire Martian surface. The energy release? Around 100 million megatons of TNT. To put that in perspective, the most powerful nuclear bomb ever tested, Tsar Bomba, was just 50 megatons. This is the equivalent of 2 million Tsar Bombas hitting all at once. The crater alone would dwarf Earth's biggest scars. We're talking about a hole over 150 kilometers wide and several kilometers deep. Half the northern hemisphere of Mars could be rearranged in an instant. But it's not just the crater. Mars's thin atmosphere would ignite into a temporary inferno. Dust and rock would launch into space, some escaping Mars's gravity completely, others raining back down, creating secondary impacts all over the planet. Meanwhile, ice buried in Mars's soil and polar caps would vaporize instantly. That means enormous clouds of water vapor, carbon dioxide, and dust filling the sky. The thin Martian atmosphere couldn't hold on to this forever, but for a while, Mars would face storms unlike anything ever seen before. Here's the twist. Impacts don't just affect the target planet. Ejecta, chunks of Mars blasted into space, could go flying across the solar system. Some might even make the long trip to Earth. This isn't new. Scientists already suspect Martian meteorites have landed on our planet in the past. An Atlas-sized strike, we'd be getting space souvenirs for thousands of years. And while Earth wouldn't face a direct threat, telescopes on our planet would witness the most spectacular explosion ever seen on another world. It would outshine stars. It could even be visible with the naked eye. A cosmic reminder that planets are not as safe as they seem.
Now, let's pump the brakes. Here's the big problem. Mars isn't just a dead planet to us.
It's the prime candidate for colonization. Elon Musk, NASA, SpaceX, all of them have their eyes set on Mars as humanity's Plan B. But what happens if your Plan B gets blasted into something closer to Plan Gone? An Atlas-level impact would destroy any existing colonies, instantly. Even underground habitats wouldn't survive the global earthquakes. And the new Martian climate? Totally unpredictable. You might get a thicker atmosphere, for a short while, or a choking dust storm that lasts for decades. Building a future on Mars suddenly looks a lot riskier. But let's not only look at the negatives. Impacts can reshape worlds in surprising ways. Remember, Earth's dinosaur killer asteroid cleared the way for mammals, and eventually, us. On Mars, an Atlas strike could melt enough subsurface ice to create temporary seas. That's right, Mars might briefly have liquid oceans again. Imagine giant craters filled with water, steaming under a dusty, stormy sky. For astrobiologists, that's jackpot territory. The heat could awaken dormant microbes, giving us the first direct proof of life on Mars. Even more wild, humans might one day mine the crater rim. Impacts expose deep layers of rock and ice that would normally take centuries to drill into. Resources could be easier to reach, if we're brave enough, to set up camp near ground zero. Here's the jaw-dropper. In some scenarios, impacts like this could actually terraform Mars, at least temporarily. The vaporized water and carbon dioxide would thicken the atmosphere, making the planet warmer and more Earth-like for a while. Think about it. Humanity spends trillions trying to warm up Mars with greenhouse gases, or giant space mirrors, or even nuclear bombs. And then, nature just does it for free, courtesy of a passing comet. Of course, the catch is that it wouldn't last. Over decades or centuries, Mars's weak gravity would let the gases escape again. But during that window, Mars might be more habitable than ever in human history.
So, what if 3I/ATLAS hit Mars?
The red planet would get a crater, big enough to be seen from space, with the naked eye. The energy released would make the Dino Killer asteroid look like a firecracker. Colonization plans would be pushed back centuries, but scientists would get a front row seat to the most exciting planetary transformation ever. And for a short while, Mars might actually look a little more alive. It's a reminder that in space, destruction and creation are two sides of the same coin. If you want to see what happens when Earth takes a hit this big, watch the next video popping up right now.